Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, it's a period of melancholy in Dapchi as parents of the girl still in captivity appeal to all concerned to ensure her safe return. Rainstorm causes havoc in Ilorin, the Kwara state capital. And the Anambra State Governor woos investors at the state's business roundtable. Thank you so much for joining us on News Across Nigeria today. We begin in the northeastern part of the country. It's a period of melancholy for the parents of the girl still in the custody of the Boko Haram insurgents. Mr. Sharibu Nathan says he was excited when he heard the news that the girls were coming home. Then that later turned to sadness when he was told his daughter is still being held. He's appealing to the authorities to continue to press for her release. This call is echoed by a representative of the Abducted Girls Parents Association, who wants all Dapchi residents to continue to push for the release of Miss Nathan. Meanwhile, Nigerian police authorities say they are reinforcing security at secondary schools around the northeast states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe in order to forestall further abduction of students. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, confirmed the measure in the aftermath of the return of the Dapchi schoolgirls earlier kidnapped by Boko Haram insurgents. He was speaking to journalists in Jos, the Plateau State capital, at the groundbreaking of the newly established Mobile Force Squadron. The Plateau State Governor, Samuel Along, who accompanied the Inspector General of Police, also confirmed the donation of security equipment to the police to aid their operations.
Like I'm talking to you, I'm from here, I'm going to Maiduguri. I'm going to visit some of these schools to assess the deployment there and see that we're adequately prepared to safeguard lives and properties of all Nigerians in every location in this country. And this is what I'm going to do. Seeing the roadmap we've laid out for Plateau State, and this activity we have seen today are all part of the roadmap. We are laying the roadmap not for 1 year, we are laying the roadmap for 5 years. And with the grace of God and with the active collaboration with the security agency, insecurity will be a thing of the past in Plateau State.
Samuel Along, Governor of Plateau State. Now in Dapchi, where the parents of the girl who is still in the custody of Boko Haram is calling for her release, as well as a representative of the Abducted Girls Parents Association, who wants all Dapchi residents to continue to push for the release of the girl in captivity, whose name is Nathan.
I was in Yola. I heard that the abducted girls are on their way coming. I was very, very much happy about it. But later on, I was called that my daughter was not among them. I asked, what is the reason? And they were telling me this and that they told her to convince to Muslim, and she said she will not convince to Muslim. Hence, she is the only Christian among them. So they abducted her. And then from there, I was sad. And later on, I was called that the mother was unconscious. She was rushed to hospital. My attention is urgently needed. That's why I rush and come back. Unfortunately, I slept in Namaturu. I reached here this morning. I'm telling Nigerians that they should be seriously about this, our daughter, if possible. The way they brought others, they have to do their possible best and bring her too. And I really appreciate the Dapchi people. Dapchi community, how they handle me personally in this town. Because I come here single. I'm married in this town. I do everything in this town. They do everything with me. So I appreciate their effort. And up to now, they are doing their best. So I'm pleading to them up to now, Dapchi, especially Dapchi, that they should do their possible best for this girl to come out.
And as Nigerians await a safe return, we'll turn our attention to Kwara State, where bad weather has wreaked havoc on some houses in Ilorin, the capital, with roofing sheets of about 35 houses blown off and other property destroyed. The victims, who are mostly reported to be women and aged, now have to take shelter with relatives and call on the government to come to their aid.
Last Saturday will continue to be remembered by some communities in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, as heavy rainfall destroyed the roofs of buildings. The rainstorm, which started in the evening, affected Agboba, Saakele, Kuntu, Adeta, and Pakata areas. In most of the areas affected, the roofs of the buildings were blown off, while the new transmitter recently installed by Adeta community was saved, but the concrete building was affected. At Agboba, the situation is even worse, with the personal belongings of the victims still littering the surroundings, as they now have to squat with their neighbors.
We had a very rainstorm that blew across our territory in Agboba and blew off nothing less than 15 to 17 houses that were damaged completely, to the extent that our transformer presently is off. The people in those houses, they are now squatting. No, they have no alternative. I am appealing on behalf of the entire community to please have it in one thinking to assist these people in any way that will make them comfortable for.
Kuntu, Saakele, and Pakata areas were not spared, as nearly 20 houses were affected.
They were inside the room. They cannot go somewhere because the room was heavy. The rain was heavy with blocks from the sky. So they cannot go anywhere. They were only saved by Almighty God.
The state government is expected to step in, as the State Executive Council is yet to be inaugurated after the cabinet was dissolved.
And in the southeastern region of the country, Anambra State is seeking the expertise of businessmen and women to help build local capacity and explore avenues to diversify the state's economy. The event, tagged Anambra Business Roundtable, is held to brainstorm on areas that will, based off the state, boost productivity and enhance the lives of the people in Anambra in the next 4 years.
21/21 Governor of Anambra said His Excellency.
It's a gathering of critical stakeholders from the public and private sectors at the Anambra State Governor's Lodge for the first Anambra Business Roundtable with the theme, Consolidating on the Vision. According to the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budgets in the state, the event was organized to highlight the potentials of Anambra as a leading economic hub in Nigeria.
It became imperative to assess our progress thus far and explore other socio-economic potentials in other sectors such as hospitality, tourism, and technology, among others, in view of current realities.
For the governor of the state, Willie Obiano, there has been no better time than now to invest in the state.
With all this array of very rich people, good business people, and what have you, they are still not taking home. What are you waiting for? Bring your money home. You have capable people that will help you run this business. You have a government that will advise you and make sure that your money works home.
The event then went into a panel discussion where panelists deliberated on how to explore growth opportunities in the state.
The federal government is also looking for ways to grow the Nigerian economy, and that's coming up on News Across Nigeria. Please stay with us.